They were very good. Some vegetable was also very nice.
So you plan to
Curry also.
to take these recipes and the experience back to Peru?
Yes, you know, right now we are working on a new restaurant that is the Amazonian restaurant, and I've been like traveling to the Amazon a lot, and I've been knowing the products over there, and many of the products in the Amazon are very similar to the ones you have in Southeast Asia. A lot of them. So I found it very interesting, obviously because of the weather or the climate. It's very similar to the Amazon, so that's why we share some of the ingredients. There are some of them that are the same ones, but there are some of them that are very similar, and it's very nice. It's very interesting. So what we are planning to do with the new restaurant we are doing is try to learn from techniques and combination of products you do in Southeast Asia to try to interpret it as we see our food or as we see things. You know? Try to interpret it and to catch flavors and techniques from here and to do it back at home for the new Amazonian restaurant. So I've been you know, thinking a lot about that. I was very excited to come to Southeast Asia because I think it's gonna be very useful for me for the new restaurant.
Well, thank you. Well, folks, I'm Robin from the National Critics' Choice, and here I am at the World Going Summit here in Singapore, reporting live. And here at the World Going Summit 2012, Chef Pedro from Peru will be introducing his menu here only at the Shangri-La Hotel at the Blue Restaurant at a very exclusive limited period. Chef Pedro, tell us, what did inspire you to become one of the world's leading chefs in Peru?
Thank you. I don't know. I've been around food and around products and very in touch in nature since I was young, very young. So I've been cooking and traveling for almost 16 years already, and that helps me a lot to inspire myself. Traveling, knowing different cultures, even knowing my own culture, inspired me a lot.
And was there any mentor that assisted you while you were exercising your craft as a chef?
Yes, I could say I was formed in Europe, in Italy. I studied in the States and I worked in Italy for 5 years. So I worked in a restaurant in Piedmont that is called Pinocchio, under Bertinotti's family, Chef Piero Bertinotti, and I could say he's my mentor. He shared with me his philosophy and the way he lives around food and around his restaurant. So I could say that he is the one that inspired me.
So speaking about inspiration, while you were growing up, were there any recipes that your family has influenced? Was there any family member, it could be your mother or your father, that inspired you to live up to their capacity?
Yeah. But before sharing that with you, I have to explain a little bit how it's Peru. It's a country that is very centralized, mostly the capital, Lima. The rest of the country, it's still undeveloped. It's growing. It's very rich because of its nature, because of the culture and the people. But everything that happens economically happens in Lima, the capital. And in Lima is like a city that is very, I would like to say, many cultures have it's the result of migrations of many years, of 500 years, almost 500 years going to be soon, that these migrations has like formed our culture in Lima. So for example, I have blood from Cuba, from Germany, from Spain, and from Italy. So I'm like a big mix. So that's how it is in Lima. And at home, my great-grandmother was German, and she married Cuban. So I have, when I was little, in my house, we used to cook a lot of Cuban food, but also some German food. And that's the side of my mother. And the side of my father, it's Spanish, a little bit, and Italian. So it's a very nice mix, very curious mix. And so we had some of all these plus the Peruvian influence. So we grew up exposed to a lot of culture, to a lot of ingredients. So that's how it's been and how I grew up. But both sides of my family cook. My great-grandmother from the side of my mother was a great cook, and my grandmother also was a great cook. And every time there was a celebration at home, they cooked for everybody, like for 100, 200, 300, 400 people. So since I was a kid, I was exposed to this. So I could say that my mother and great-grandmothers are the ones that influenced me.
Amazing. So folks, it is not just a mentor, but also very much inherited to the family. And also, is there any peculiar ingredient that you love using in your cooking?
Yes, they ask me a lot of that. I don't have like one that I love using. I would like to say that right now I'm very into the Amazonian ingredients a lot. I'm very into fruits. Now fruits get into savory dishes. How sweet works into savory. I'm kind of these years kind of using a lot of that in my cuisine. But I don't have a single ingredient that I love. I'll say maybe, I don't know, I like to work with chilies, I like to work with fish or seafood, but there's no a single one.
So what's your favorite dish that you usually have every day?
I'm very simple. I cook on what I have on a daily basis or in hand, you know, like I go to a market and I see something. Every time I go to a market or every time I want to cook something, I go by the season. I go by the produce that is best because of the season. So it's a matter of mood. It's a matter of the day, of what is in the market. I don't have a favorite dish. I don't have a favorite preparation. I'm very simple. I'm very, spontaneous for cooking. I'm a little bit like that also. I'm very spontaneous. I don't like to plan everything.
Well spoken as an artist. And speaking of being an artist, what's the philosophy of food? What is food to you as a chef? What does it mean to be a chef?
Of course, it's my life. It's what I do as a job and for a living, and it's what I do that I enjoy. It's like everything. I live around food and I live around my restaurant. But for me, food is something that motivates me, that drives me. It's something that I enjoy and get excited about. but I don't take it too serious. I don't like to be um, so, I would say, maybe, let me say in English la palabra, I don't remember the word, but I don't get crazy about my job or my work. I like to enjoy what I do. I like to enjoy my family. So I do it with a lot of passion, and also I like that things that comes out from the inside. I don't like to be like because this is the this is what everybody's doing. I have to do it. No, it's what I feel. It's what I have. When it comes from inside. I think that's important when you cook and when you live. When it comes from inside. Your instinct tells you. That's important, and that's the best way to enjoy it also.
How do you overcome the challenges in your life as a chef? Because having spent many long hours for very many days away from your family, how do you juggle family time and your job?
I think you have to balance both and try to give importance to both, not only one. It's like if you give too much importance to your job or to cooking, you will not have a good relationship with your family. If you give too much relationship to your family, so it's a matter of balance, like in life, like in everything, with everything, But I like to say that I'm not crazy about my job. For me, first is I have to enjoy it. If I don't enjoy it, then I think I will do it. For you to enjoy it, you don't have to force yourself or do things that are going to hurt you or put you back. So you have to follow it.
Well, here at the Blue Restaurant at the Shangri-La Hotel, Singapore, what advice would you give for future aspiring chefs?
I like to think in these years I'm thinking I'm becoming more local, and I'm becoming more sustainable also. We have to think not on what is going on today, we have to think in the future. And maybe many people, especially sometimes we don't think in the future, we think right now. We think right now or next week, but not in 10 or 20 years what's going to happen, and try to think also very local. It's something that I always like to share. In Peru, we are 20 years ago our professional restaurants were all European driven. And we looked always like outside Peru. Everything that was outside Peru was better. But now we're looking inside. So I have that very fresh in me. So I like to look inside my country, what is going on around. And I discovered a lot of things that are very, very, very interesting.
Chef Pedro, before we go, here at the Blue Restaurant and here at the World Gourmet Summit Festival, for someone like myself who is, a novice, in Peruvian menu, would there be at least 3 dishes that you could recommend from your menu that you created?
Yeah, I don't have to read them, but 3
Folks,
dishes.
Pay attention.
Well, I have to say that I like to work with different ingredients around Peru. I work with ingredients from the Andes or from the Amazon. And usually, these ingredients, they don't get to the capital, to Lima. They stay in the regions. And they are not commercialized. They are not ingredients that are very known, even in the regions. So what we do is we travel and get these ingredients and bring them to the restaurant and cook with them. And our main objective or main philosophies, we like to communicate with our food. I think the plate and the food is a very good vehicle to communicate, to give knowledge to people. So with the products that we use, we try to do that. We try to give knowledge and to communicate. And I'm going to mention 3 dishes that do this. The first one is scallops, fresh scallops in a parsley juice with prosciutto, that is an algae, and maca root. And for example, many people in Lima, like 3 years ago, didn't know that we have an algae in the Andes, or maybe 2 years ago. And this algae was eaten before colonization with Asian cultures like Incas, because at 3,500 meters in altitude, little greens, there's no greens, there's no vegetables to eat. So this algae was a good source of fiber for the diet. And they still use it, they cook it in soups or as a salad or as a side dish. And it's very nice because it's a small size as a caviar. It can grow very small and also as a golf ball. And it's inside, it looks like a grape and has the particularity to absorb flavor. For example, if you like to infuse it in alcohol or a beverage like wine or a fruit juice, it will absorb the flavor of that liquid. And so we have done fresh scallops with the algae that is put in mirin and a little bit of sake. And we grate some maca root to put that. Maca root is like a horseradish, but maca root is also an endemic plant of Peru, of the Andes, and also grow above 3,500 meters in the Andes. And this plant takes 2 years to grow, and is consumed by local people, by Asian cultures as Incas, as a product that gives energy and health, and also for reproductive purposes. It's like a ginseng, between a ginseng and a Viagra, natural Viagra. So it's very interesting root. And in flavor, it's like a horseradish. It's kind of spicy, hot, very refreshing, like horseradish. So it cleans your palate. So we put these 2 ingredients from the Andes with scallop. We have great scallops in our ocean, very nice quality ones. So and we finish that with a juice, ceviche juice. You know ceviche? No. Ceviche is marinated fish with lime juice and some chili peppers, some cilantro, some onions, sometimes garlic, where it's marinated and eaten raw or marinated for 5 minutes. And it's one of the staple dishes of Peru. So we took that juice and we prepare a sauce. And we do that with the scallops. It's a very nice dish. Then, for example, we have one dish from the Amazon that is a fish. It's a very simple dish. It's a fish.
And that's part of the menu, right?
Of the menu. And we are having it with a broth that is a broth made with fermented yuca. You know yuca?
No.
Manioc?
I think I've heard about it.
You know sago?
Oh, yes.
Sago is made from the starch of the yuca. What do you call the... it's a root. Manioc, yuca. Okay, and so we use fermented juice of that yuca mixed with fish broth, and it gives an extraordinary flavor, like umami kind. You know umami flavor? Umami flavor, or fish flavor, just like Japanese dashi, it has that umami. Okay, so it gives a great flavor, and it's fermented yuca. And we do a black sago on top of the fish. And these two ingredients are ingredients that we use in the Amazon a lot. No? So that, for example, in Lima, in the capital, people didn't know about these ingredients and how to use them. So it's very interesting. For example, another dish that all the menu is with these ingredients. So it's we brought 80% of the ingredients, we brought them from Peru.
All the way from Peru to Singapore.
Exactly.
Well, folks, you heard that and you witnessed that all ingredients have been shipped in. Actually, they have airflown fresh by Chef Pedro. And once again, here at the Critics' Choice, please do not forget to come by at the Blue Restaurant here in Singapore for the World Gourmet Summit 2012. Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you. Thank you very much.